Good morning, everyone. I guess really, Taco, it's good morning or good afternoon. Let's get into this. It's the EGFC Season 2 Championship weekend. And goodness, we have such a fantastic lineup of matches for today. And across so many different avenues as well. I'm Meet and Greek, and you already know who's in the booth with me. It's Danger Taco. Taco, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. We are past the top 16. Now we are in the final eight. I suppose Elite Eight is a nickname sometimes given to this round. And the thing I am interested in is seeing if we're going to be witnessing a changing of the guard, so to say. Arlington last season was able to take the championship. They're a very strong team in CRL currently. However, two of these teams playing right now, Delaware and Butler, are both emergent teams. Delaware actually our number one seed across the entire league. So they are an incredible team. 81% game win percentage. So every 5 games they play, they win over 4 of them. So it's an insane record to see. They have a lot to prove. And if there's a team to take them down, I think Butler has shown a lot of resilience. In total, every game yesterday was very close. It was very competitive. And I'm hoping the same is true today.
We're going to be watching this Delaware team as our teams take the field, put a fresh 5 minutes on the clock. It's a best of 5. This Delaware team has only lost this season to UT Arlington in a best of 5. That was in game 5 as well. It was not a sweep. So, Taco, this is the team to watch out for.
Certainly so. Without further ado, we're just going to kick right into this one. We're going to be seeing Butler immediately trying to get out of their way. I think the main thing that I am looking for in this game is seeing if Butler can hang with Delaware's fast pace and, more importantly, all these tricky touches that they're getting, as we're seeing with Vixa dancing through some defenders. Will be able to not score on this one, unfortunately. Butler will be getting the clear. Beeve will keep the attack going, and Vixa will retreat off the clear, so Kai will be able to advance up. Kai, actually, the player, in my mind, to watch for Butler. He's popped off so many times for Butler down the stretch. It's really a team game, but Kai is showing that sometimes all he needs is just a good look at goal.
Oh, no. Let's take a look at what happened here. Demos across the bandwidth, and unfortunately, everyone was in net for Butler. Sir Aaron was trying to get around the back post side, but just couldn't get in front of the ball. A little bit of miscommunication here early on. And Delaware, they will strike first.
Yes, they will, and inside the first minute as well, exactly the start they're looking for, and they're going to try to preserve that lead. That got a little dangerous across the middle, but Thieve will be able to clear that one out. Astro slows down with a short 50. Thieve decides better of it, gets a boost steal. You're working a little bit of the boost management in, and now getting some bumps. Very difficult for Astro and company to be breaking out of their half. Surrender, or at least try with a nice flick. Astro's there for the redirect. It's off the post. Thieve can't get that one, and there's Kai standing up and getting his team on the board.
And you can see the defense literally driving in circles, not knowing what to do here. You see poor position from Grau. You have to feel for him, though. It's a tough spot. You're not expecting that kind of rebound, but good job for Kai to play cleanup and just throw it true on net. Tie this one up.
It's a good job from Butler being able to cause chaos on the back line. Every good team will have to learn how to deal with that type of pressure, and even Delaware is not immune to succumbing to some of that chaos. So good job from Butler as we start off and got that tie game after the first 90 seconds. They're looking to advance even further as CERN it's going to tap another one around. Good clear out. Astro will keep it inside this Delaware half. Let's see if they can build off of it as some more 50s come in. And right now, Delaware struggling to escape this corner, and some significant pressure being built up as another one at midfield going to be lobbed at goal, and this time in goal. Astro, you can't place it much better than that.
In the midfield presence, you can see here from Astro, not only just going for the shot, but realistically was just trying to keep the ball on the Delaware half, doing an excellent job sustaining that pressure, slowly whittling away at that defense and creating that goal-scoring opportunity.
Gonna throw it right back on goal again. Thieve just gonna scream that one right across the goal line. Does not go in, so Vixa will take a deep breath, get on the dribble again. Worked in a couple fakes already throughout this series, and he's just going to go straight for the shot. Deflected right to Grau, and is it on target? It is. Butler can't get back in time, and we got quite the game one on our hands.
And we have another, again, transition play that Delaware is able to take advantage of, and this is what we're probably going to see them as their main avenue trying to score against Butler. And it's working very well so far. Butler just needs to figure out a way to get back on defense in a more concise manner.
Still only half the game in. Butler just trying to maintain that pressure. They looked at their best when they were working around those boost stars, able to hit the ball, keep the ball, really, in that Delaware half. Interested to see how much they can get back onto that rhythm, or if that was really just a fluke in the beginning and seemed like Delaware was a little punch drunk after that barrage of shots. But they're doing well to transition out, at least Delaware. It's another redirect that will be able to roll onto the Butler back line. Vix will be able to force in a challenge. It's going to go straight to the ceiling. Kai, with at least forward hit, only goes to the corner. Instead, Sir Aaron and Kai get a little bit of a mix-up. Grau trying to the counter, but it'll slow down into the corner. So we're headed into a little bit of the, I would say, lull of the game. Both teams starting to quiet down just a little bit, but it's not without some nice quick movement in and around the corners.
And you see that clock starting to wind down, and both these teams trying not to make that gruesome mistake that could cost them game one, as the opportunities galore. So Aaron has to race back in front of Grau to keep this ball and does an excellent job of slowing the pace. This is exactly what we want to do. Delaware is so dangerous on the transitions. This one might just bounce in. It won't, as Grau comes out of nowhere to make the save.
It's a little bit of a double commit as both Kai and really Grau were going at it, but we also had another Butler player in the mix. Unfortunately, even two players combining their powers, as you know, that's how doubles work. You can't put that one in. Over Astro, they're not going to take no for an answer. They're going to advance it down again. Unfortunately, they are alone in that venture. No one up to able to put the pass in under a minute. We'll see another pass coming in. Astro will tap it near goal. Vixa up quickly with the save. On the follow, won't be able to get it. Over Feeve to the sidelines. Sir Aaron, good cut. That's everyone up for Delaware. Off the sidewall, Astro, open shot.
Oh, no!
I can't put it in either. Astro trying to get on. It's off the post, and finally, Kai will put one in for the lead.
Oh my goodness, things pinballing in front of the net. You can just tell Delaware just screaming, trying to get in front of this ball. Kai able to finally hit it in. 39 seconds left. Can Delaware tie this one up?
Delaware really being a bit too aggressive, or really just trying desperately to get on the ball. These double commits really ruined them, and at that point they were just in transition panic, as we're going to see them have to witness the comeback within the final seconds of this game. And it's not going well. Butler's continuing to pass with such confidence. Another dunk will keep it in the corner. Astro trying to set up a flick, but will be deflected. Kai, another shot on target. If nothing else, burning off more seconds as we're in the final 10. But Feeve now with a passing play. Grau off the side wall. Vixa decides against this one. Bounces straight down. Final advance. It's inside to Feeve. They get bumped. And that one is going to go to Butler for game number one, taking down Delaware.
And you can tell pretty much the second half of this game, Butler was able to take control of the tempo. Delaware just a little bit too slow on their end, and it unfortunately didn't work out for them. You can tell just by the way that Butler was able to move the ball around the field that Delaware just couldn't keep up. Whenever they're able to get possession, there was always a Butler player almost immediately on them, going full speed ahead as well. They were not afraid, Taco, to miss the ball. And I think that's very important for them as well, because that means they know that they always have someone who's back in rotation, ready to take their spot. So by just continuing to push forward like that with that aggressiveness really put Delaware at an uneasy position.
And I think Delaware is a dangerous team. You see a lot of confidence going forward from all their players. They seem like they have a plan in place. I'm just a little bit worried that sometimes when you're trying to play very fast, the communication isn't quite there. We saw some kind of rough double commits or really just delay on certain challenges from Delaware. Butler was able to take advantage of it. More importantly, they were able to put in shot after shot after shot, putting up 11 compared to only the 4 of Delaware throughout that past game. So going into game number 2, I think great teams have to adjust when they are in situations of adversity. Delaware certainly finding that adversity, getting a game 1 loss, but long series ahead. I'm curious to see how they rebound. They're going to try at least with a nice passing play off the beginning, but it's going to be immediately cut out by Butler, and they're back into their half with Thief throwing a deep one off the backboard. Grau's up for it, but can't get the cherry pick down.
And you see Delaware start to sustain some real offense here. They've been doing a great job of getting those chances off these transitions coming off their back line. However, it's not going to bode well for them as Grau's going to have an open opportunity. Oh no! Unfortunate miss on the goal line.
And I see Grau hit this one upfield, but my eyes are on Feeve, the lead blocker, just bumping Sir Aaron into the goal. And the ball follows suit shortly thereafter. 29 seconds in, Delaware has their lead. And great job to get it, mixing those nice upfield vision with always some nice physical play. See some more balls into the corner here as Butler will try and build something, but no one up far enough to actually make something of it. Deflection will lead it a little bit to Vixa. They're waiting for Astra's hit. He'll get demoed for his patience as Kai will try and advance it up. Grau across to the far side. Sir Aaron trying to collect, but only can put it into the middle for Astra, but great reactions and, well, way to have your teammates back. Butler, time after time, seems to be, as you mentioned earlier, they're a team that's not afraid to miss, which is more or less saying that they have the confidence to go, but still the trust to know that their teammates will be able to adjust to them if a mistake comes out. And we're seeing that on both offense and as well on defense, as another ball will be lofted in and across the face of the goal. Astro up for it, and a great denial, and Delaware will get there clear.
And you can tell, even just on that denial right there, the way that the defense of Delaware is going, they're just barely getting to this ball right before someone from Butler is taking a shot, and they're just being put in these really high pressure situations that sooner or later someone's going to miss, someone's going to make a mistake, and it's going to cost them a goal.
Delaware is hanging on to their lead, at least for right now. Butler is trying as they might, trying to put something on target or at least near target. We'll see Vixa save at least one of those attempts out. That one's not the cleanest touch. Astro with a passer. Aaron actually streaks up. No one on Delaware having any speed to get to that just in time, right in the end, to be able to save that one to the side. Vixa with a slow play will get denied again. Creeping towards halftime, and I mentioned yesterday that a lot of these matches were very close. This one, no exception. Still only one goal in it. Grau trying to make it two. Unfortunately, we'll go past the far post, and another deflection will take it around. Sir Aaron into the corner. Bounce in for Kai, but they can't quite reach it. And another one will roll out to the mid. See another lob a little bit forward. Just going to see another bounce play coming in. Astra will try to get another dunk, and we'll see within the 2-minute warning. I mean, Butler, they're playing well. They're playing well, George. It's just right now they're just meeting the wall that is Delaware on defense, getting some nice saves. It seems like even when they are at their most vulnerable, just Butler does not have a player upfield to capitalize.
Well, the Delaware defense right now, you're absolutely right. They have been getting back in time. Almost feels like they're splitting hairs how close some of these defensive plays have been. But the pressure is starting to build up. Now, their one and only real opportunity at goal came off, again, like I'm going to harp on this a little bit more, a transition play. And it worked out well for them, but I'm still not super convinced that this is a sustainable model. They need to see some good offensive rotations from them as Astra's going to have an open net! Oh no!
What a transition play. Grau not getting a good touch, and shows why that sometimes can be capitalized. Upfield, Vixa screaming towards the ball and still not fast enough. Great transition, and they really haven't had too many. That's only their 6th shot, but it is the one that is true. Will fly into that net, and with 70 seconds remaining, we'll give them the lead and maybe time to build more. But Astro just a hair too short on that one.
Things getting really close here and dicey. The final minute of play. Will Butler continue on? They're just putting shots on net, but you know, this is excellent for them because now they're really putting the pressure right back into Delaware, saying, all right, we know you're vulnerable. We know that Grau's the only one in the net. Astro couldn't beat him though.
Inside to Sir Aaron, that's off the near post. Kai trying to keep pressure, will only go for a 50. lobbing across. Vixa should have that read, only straight down. Grau just trying to keep it out of the danger, but still in the half. Sir Aaron on the near post, that's a miss. Kai on the follow, gonna rattle off the same side of the goal. Astro with another 50, keeping it pinned in this Delaware half. Sir Aaron will continue coming in to apply pressure. They can't get too greedy. Delaware can break out just like that. High lob in the middle will show that. Feeve high above the goal. Grau up for it, forces a double. Vixa will just lob that in, and Astro, no problem with this one. Under 10 seconds, we might be looking at our first overtime as we come through the remainder of this game. The long clear from Delaware might yield one more. However, Kai will put that one down, and we will indeed we'll have to go to overtime really to separate these two squads.
And you have to give Delaware a whole lot of credit in that last minute to keep Butler out of their net. They did an excellent job of starting to sustain some of their own offense. This could be the turning point for them if they keep it up. Right now, it's all Delaware. Oh, goodness. Butler coming through, and the defense just dissolves.
I was terrified right here. This is a great job by Sir Aaron because it's a shooting opportunity, but more importantly, just get it past the defender. And Kai had an open net and almost put it just too wide. However, Butler continuing with that offensive pressure. And this is something that I talked about, that they may be the the lower seed, but all these teams so close in record, just a little bit, some margins in some case. The margin's a little bit bigger here. But this is top 16 against single elimination bracket, and Butler is one game away through this concerted pressure and adequate defense right now, and they're one game away from taking down our number 1 seed.
Taco, the numbers don't lie. When you're Delaware, you're sitting at 3 shots for the entire game. Your offensive model is still trying to almost cherry pick these goal opportunities away from Butler, and it's just not going to work. You need to sustain pressure at this level of Rocket League here in the collegiate scene. You have to have some good offensive rotation. I am not convinced right now.
I think the thing that I'm seeing from Delaware is that at times they're moving forward, and I like their looks at passes, but it just seems like once they actually have that opportunity to go forward and they need to execute, it's just not quite there. And at the end of the day, you can have all the movement forward that you want, but if you're not getting that final strike on target, really testing the defense like Butler is, I don't know if it's in the cards, and they're not like they have a lot of lives left. This is game number 3. This is potentially their final game of their season. If they cannot turn this around and be able to convert the chances that they can generate into some form of goals. So the short play maybe is the method they're going to go to, as Grau and Feeve somewhat combining, but unfortunately Butler going to bat that one away. We'll go back into midfield. A little bit of a open chance here. Sir Aaron last back, but they will be able to tap that to the side, and we're back into a little bit of midfield play. And admittedly, I mean, we are giving some flack to Delaware, but meet and Greek, I mean, we're only 1-goal games in both of these matches.
Yes.
It's not like they're complete blowouts. It's really just slight adjustments, a little bit better of a performance, and we could be looking at different scoreline.
That's absolutely true. 3-2 game 1, 2-1 game 2. It's as close as you can get, but there's still things that I want to see from Delaware, because you're right, it is close, but they can make it a lot easier on themselves.
We'll have to see really how they go about that. Butler's still just going to the tried and true method of throwing it near and having a good follow for a good 50. It helps when you have nice bounce shots. That's a triple commit out of Delaware. Astro trying to do something with this. Fortunately, their shot lacks the venom they were hoping for. Vixa on the counter, advancing into the corner. Will beat out Kai. Feeve is waiting for it. They'll almost get there, but Sir Aaron lending their heroic hand to that defensive effort. Gets a dunk in with Grau. That's not going to be doubled. Vixa up for it. Another deflection from Astro. Feeve just trying to keep it in this orange half. Fortunately, will transition out with Kai into the corner again. First 2 minutes, been a little bit back and forth. Still shots on the side of Butler. Still looking for that first goal.
It's very key for Delaware here. They're starting to bring the ball into the orange half, and they're doing a great job of, when Butler's able to get these clears, just bringing it right back, bring that offense back into the equation, start to sustain it, start to build it up, then put some more shot opportunities. Here's a chance right here. Kai being forced into an awkward position in front of the goal lines. Luckily not to get dunked on, as Vixa is there.
That starts a little bit of awkwardness. I thought Sir Aaron was coming out of goal. Instead, Kai turns around and gets a 50 instead. And from that, all of that hectic movement results in just one more pass coming through. Vixa knows that Predator vision, that the chance is open. They go full steam ahead. And they will be able to slam one into the back of the net. And they have time for another one. Feeve quickly on this one. They realize their lesson. If the ball is in a dangerous position, if you crash the net, good things may happen. Almost getting rewarded again. Going for a little bit of deflection here on the infield pass. And Delaware looking a bit more lively here after getting the lead.
Yeah, you see the passes coming out, but that's not going to bode well for them. Oh, no. When you're the last one and you go for this shot in the midfield, you better make contact. Instead, it's the player. And, you know, Kai's going to happily take that demo.
And that's a tough one because sometimes I'm looking at this Delaware team and they're not as direct. I think Butler is working with infield passes, but a lot of these hits are just right at the goal. They're just trying to keep pressure. Delaware seems to be not necessarily like a one-trick pony, but they're looking for a lot of infield passes. On that last one, before Vixa even touched it for the pass, Kai was on it. They were ready for that infield pass. You can't be showing your cards. If you're going to the same method, you're always looking for that player in the middle. At a certain point, it's somewhat predictable. Kai showing why, just being able to get an easy lob right down the middle for the opener. And Delaware right back to square one, even scoreline, and only 90 seconds really to see if they can get that lead back, or at the very least play for an overtime in which they have a chance to extend this series. Sure, a sweep is not what they expected out of their playoff run in the second round. They'll see a deflection coming out in midfield. Kai will be able to gather for Butler and advance it past Grau, but not past Feeve as it goes back to the midfield.
Things not looking great for the number 1 seed, the number 9 seed right now, giving them quite a bit of a run for their money, and they're going to keep on. Look at this Astro bumping so much of the defense. Vixa barely holding on to keep things away from the net. That could have been deadly, and now they're going to turn it around on, wow, another transition play goes into the hands of Delaware.
A good job by Vixa, not forcing anything, takes a 50, but great composure from Grau, almost slowing down, staying in place, knowing as long as they get solid contact and it's at least near goal, that could be one in, and it will be. The lead is back for Delaware, under a minute to go, and certainly on their mind is how to slow down this Butler offense, at least for another minute. Maybe the best defense is just a good offense. They're just going to roll it forward, and Vixa claims goal number 3.
Look at this setup from Grau, only coming down from the ceiling to get another tap on the ball, and then, of course, faking out Sir Aaron. That has to be rough on the goal line as well. And Delaware crawling back. This was getting very scary, but they've given themselves a nice 2-goal lead here, less than a minute to go. But watch out, I may speak too soon. Butler's not giving up quite yet.
No, they have 30 seconds, more than enough time to at least get something started. Kai trying their darndest to put it into the corner. Unfortunately, the transition will be coming through. Grau will yield it to Vixa. Infield pass. Kai will cut it out. We've seen that before. This one will only go into the corner, but it will force around. Grau back in time. We'll get another clear. They're just trying to burn off those seconds, as every second that goes by is less opportunities for Butler to get the 2 transitions that they need. With 5 seconds remaining, this game is firmly in Delaware's grasp. They will be taking game number 3, and now we have a bit of a series on our hands.
Absolutely, they're going to avoid the sweep. This is going to be very big for their momentum. You see Delaware, they're still testing out that tried and true method. They've been getting a lot of those transition plays, but you know, you can't really fault them for going for those, especially as Butler has caught themselves over and over again just overextending too much. They're putting themselves in these positions where they're thinking, oh my goodness, this ball's in front of the Delaware net. We absolutely have to score. We're sending everyone at the ball, but it just doesn't work out for them. And all of a sudden they're letting in 1, 2, 3 goals and putting themselves a little bit out of contention here. Now things are going to get a little bit scary, Taco, because now Delaware is in this mindset of, all right, we're starting to get things back. We're going to start to regain this momentum. And now if you're Butler, it's not going to be so easy anymore.
No, and I would say that they're still doing a good job. It's 8 shots to 7 in that past one, so good offensive pressure. Delaware actually forced into making a bit more saves. However, even with Delaware, when they had those open nets, especially I think when you saw with Vixa, you saw the mindset that they're in. They know that they haven't had the most success. They have to take every chance incredibly carefully. Vixa's goal, he approached it with so much power and then just slowed down, reared back, tried to get any desperate, just delicate touch on the ball to put it near target, and it almost got saved because of that. I don't know how confident this team is. At least a win will allow them to move on unscathed to the next match, have one goal or rather one game under their belt for this series. They still got to do 2 more times. Reverse sweep required of the #1 seed. Words that are weird to say, at least this early in the single elim. However, they've gotten this far for a reason. They've garnered that record for a reason. Now they're just trying to live up to it here in game number 4. We're going to start off with at least a decent amount of pressure from Butler, but their first attack will only go out into the corner, and Grau will get the clear upfield. Vixa will try to advance it, but good deflection away. Grau, another gather into the corner. Sir Aaron forcing a little bit of a save. Astro coming through with a shot. Good deflection from Delaware. Great defensive communication to be able to just get enough of a deflection. I think it's really the key to preventing Butler from coming in. It's something that actually Butler's defense is very good at, just getting one final touch, not necessarily to clear your lines, but just to mess up the offense right there. No messing up that shot. The crossbar needed. 4th teammate ever dependable. Be able to deflect that one out. Delaware coming close, still looking for that first goal though within the first minute as it has passed.
And one thing that I just want you to take a look at here as we're seeing this Butler defense come out is their backboard defense. We're seeing a lot of rebounds coming off that backboard. No one really on there to make an attempt, as Grau had the perfect opportunity but couldn't put a shot on target. That one almost bounces its way in. And again, like, opportunities presenting itself to Delaware that they are just unable to capitalize on.
Maybe not this time.
Maybe
Thieves going to weave their way into this one. It's a play of their own making. They somewhat of a giveaway, but a great job to follow. Kai had no idea that was about to happen, and Astro with even less to do about it. Dunking in 91 seconds in. Delaware again striking first. Let's see if this time they can hold that lead throughout, as again they're trying to gather all these games up. We had mentioned it before, but this is the playoffs. This is league championships. There is no double elim. This is really all that it takes. And of course, we're talking about Delaware's comeback attempts. Certainly now in the back of their mind, Butler knew this is a difficult series, and now that Delaware is starting to heat up getting the goals, I have to wonder what the mental is like inside their team comms.
And right now, if you are Butler, you just have to play the mindset of 1 goal at a time. Don't go into this game thinking, oh, we just got to get 1 win. No, you have to take it 1 goal at a time, 1 possession at a time, and really start to sustain something, because right now things are starting to get a little bit carried away. We're so used to seeing Delaware not have this much time on the orange app. I need to see Sir Aaron get on top of that ball earlier. I need to see this defense pounce on it. But right now they're just giving so much time, and maybe on the transition now, they can start to build something.
Better deflection, Astro. That's a great strike, but again, off the crossbar. Both teams getting plagued. This time on the follow, though, Sir Aaron will be able to smack one in for the equalizer.
This is unfortunate, because if you have the entire defense back, you don't expect 3 whiffs on 1 ball. Oh, that's so unfortunate. But, you know, things happen. And if you're the defense of Butler, you got to shake that off. Or, sorry, if you're the defense of Delaware, you got to shake that off.
I think really both teams need to shake that one off, and no one can rest on their laurels, not in a game like this. They're so close every single match. Vixa trying to get back that lead. Great save onto the post by Butler, using the woodwork to their advantage yet again. And as we mentioned, it's both teams using that woodwork, or rather being blessed by the woodwork. And I always find it so interesting, that paralyzing aspect. Every time it goes off the post, the defenders get frozen. Astro just praying for defender to come through. Sir Aaron will oblige. And another shot coming in from Vixa, this time perfectly placed into the back post, and that's #2.
And they're sustaining it right here. Grau, instead of going back on the rotation, decides to turn on the ball, gives Vixa the perfect opportunity, the perfect setup. The defense is in shambles. They take these shots. Big ups here for Delaware as they're starting to really come out here.
Sir Aaron is going to push that one into the corner again. Butler certainly getting somewhat punched in the mouth. This is the execution I was hoping for from Delaware. When they get those dangerous opportunities, can they hit it with enough power and enough accuracy to actually convert their chances? That's another one might want back. Still with the lead, but Vixa just barely putting it wide. Kai on the transition forces the backboard heroics out. Astro onto the near. Sir Aaron on the follow. And another deflection out. Feeve with a nice flick pass to Grau with the open shot. And there's number 3. A rare sight in Eaton Greek. 2-goal lead here for Delaware.
And Butler just overextending yet again. You can tell they're playing panic. They're, again, back in this mindset of, oh, goodness, we're starting to run out of time. We need to score. We're sending everyone up. It's not the first time we've seen this. It's happening once more. And they're paying for it now. Down by 2, less than minutes to go. Or still some time to get back into it, but right now Delaware really starting to take control.
Well, they're trying to advance down, and they will successfully. Okay. A great bump, a little bit too much care shown onto that ball from Grau, and they will get punished. A little bit of hesitancy, but what a pre-flip bump coming through from Astro to set that play up, and we're back within 1.
That's a little bit unfortunate there. In my opinion, probably shouldn't have brought the ball in front of the goal, but again, just these things happen. Little defensive errors you're going to pay for, especially at this level. And now Butler, only 1 minute to go here, but they've been playing pretty well. Trying to tie this one up, trying to close this series. They do not want to go to a game 5. The pressure will just be so much more. Kai's going to try to gracefully bring this away from Vixa.
Vixa will be waiting for it, however. This time, Delaware actually playing it a bit safer. They know their lead has gotten a bit more precarious, and it might get more unstable still. No. Sir Aaron off the deflection to the back post.
And this is so tough, Taco, because all of the puzzle pieces are there on the defense on the side of Delaware. But there's just there has to be some form of miscommunication going on. You got the back post position filled. That's the player who should be going for that ball. Instead, they're both kind of just sitting there waiting for each other to do something. And unfortunately for them, the ball just sails right by.
And sometimes when you're going for those deflections, you have to understand what's the next move here. The angles you're taking, where is it most likely to go? And unfortunately on that last one, Delaware goes up for it and it just deflects the corner. But speaking of, this one will have one more opportunity. Delaware, they might be in a gambling mood. They tried to keep it up. However, they're not going to want to gamble too much. They know series lives on the line with their next goal. They may be out of it. They're fighting for game number 5. They're going to start off with at least somewhat fast of a transition over Sir Aaron. The good deflection. Kai off the corner. It's a high lob. Sir Aaron got bumped. Grau just in case off the backboard. Good pass into Kai. Grau quick up to it. And the bounce down will then be cleared by Vixa as Delaware tries to transition off this backboard read.
The number 1 seed trying to extend to game 5, trying to force the reverse sweep. If there's one team in this entire bracket who I have confidence we could do it, it would have to be the number 1 seed, of course. But Grau, can it get it past one more? Kai's the last one back. Here comes Vix with a shot on target. Astro is there. And this one's going to careen towards the net. It's a race for Feeve. Feeve can't get there.
A golden opportunity gone away, and on the transition, it's just too fast. Oh. That's the way it ends. Feeve caught out his third man, and Butler coming through with the upset of the tournament. Delaware getting sent home in 4.
The number 9 seed. Oh my goodness, Butler did everything they needed to do to take this in 4 games. Goodness gracious, Taco. Let's talk about what went right for Butler. It's a sustained offensive pressure was just too much for Delaware. Delaware was relying too often on these quick transition plays, these quick passes out of their defensive line to each other to create these shot opportunities, but just wasn't putting good enough sustained pressure. If we look back at games 1 and 2, Delaware had a combined 7 shots on net. Butler had over 20. It's completely different Rocket League mindsets for both of these teams, and it ends up working out in Butler's favor. That being said, very close series. Each one of the Butler wins in this series was only by 1 goal.
Yeah, it's certainly not. When we say upset, we're not saying that this team is wiping the floor. This is not, massive leads we're talking about, but it's still fantastic play to be able to get these wins out, especially against a team as fast as Delaware. And Delaware, I think, is a victim that many top seeds somewhat getting into that mindset. You even see this in Arlington, the only potentially remaining a high seed here in this tournament, where we're looking at a team that's very aggressive, and even when it's in overtime with their series lives on the line, they just get a little too stretched out. They go a little bit more forward than they probably should, and they're caught out. And even the best teams, it doesn't take a crazy three-person passing play. It doesn't take a flip reset off of the backboard and in. It just takes a long clear, and that's what undoes them. They had a lot of opportunities, a lot of balls off the post, a couple close saves forced out of Butler, but it's just not enough. And Butler's showing that with concerted, consistent pressure, at times you can really at the grindstone, grind down that defense and get a win. So congratulations to them. They will be moving on, and to see potentially one of their future opponents, we're going to be trying to prep up that next series for you with UT Arlington and Rochester Institute of Technology. We're going to throw you guys to a brief break, but we'll be back with more 2021 EGFC League Championships here on Official EGF. Welcome back, everybody. We just witnessed Butler taking down Delaware in 4 games, the number 9 seed, with a nice upset over our number 1 seed team that only really lost 1 series throughout that whole regular season, fall and spring split combined. And one player that's getting a lot of love, at least in the Twitch chat, but also in the hearts of casters and viewers alike, we have Kai from Butler with us on the line. Kai, how you feeling after that series?
I'm feeling great. We played a really, really solid series today. We knew that they were a good team, but I'm honestly surprised that we took the win. But I'm happy that we did.
Kai, first of all, congratulations on your win. Congrats on making it into the next
Thank
round.
you.
I have a quick question, though. Throughout this series, I noticed that you and the rest of the Butler squad were able to sustain some pretty significant offensive time on your Delaware's half. And I was curious if that was your game plan going into this series, try to take control of the tempo, trying to make Delaware a bit uncomfortable. I saw that you all, this is a long question. I saw that you all were playing the quantity over quality game in terms of your shot opportunities, and I was curious if that played into your plan.
Um, it definitely wasn't part of our plan, but over the series we sort of improvised into that play style. We had a lot of really good pressure on them. A lot of it came down to our comms, like just throughout us communicating, we were just really like calm, cool, and collected, and we just I don't know, we just had a lot of pressure on them, and we played really well.
Yeah, and the thing that I was really struck by was you'd mentioned the amount of shots. Both George and I were really looking at all the shots on target that you were able to get, but more importantly, how off balance you made Delaware look. And then they started to somewhat consolidate defense, move forward. Was there a point in the game in which the mental had to switch towards a little bit more conservation? You guys were being put under a lot of pressure. What was the environment like within those communications there? I see you guys we're in your Discord team channel here in the server, but what was the environment like once Delaware started to mount their comeback, like going into game number 4, for instance?
Yeah, for me personally, it was a little bit. It got a little bit more tense. But throughout like the whole time, our comms were just really, really calm and relaxed. Like we knew where everyone was. We knew who was going, how much boost they had. But when they made that comeback in game 3, going into game 4, it was a little bit more on the safe side. And I think they started warming up after a couple games. They had a lot of good pressure on us, but we were able to hold it back and take back the lead.
Now, Kai, one thing that I did notice throughout this series was that the transition plays that Delaware was able to push onto your defense were pretty catastrophic. I saw that was probably your biggest weakness, and I was curious to see how you and your team reacted to a lot of those goal scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it can get pretty hectic. They're a very fast team in general, and their clears to outlet passes are just pretty incredible. But I mean, luckily our defensive rotations were there. We would always have someone in net or on the backboard, maybe somebody cutting off the infield pass. But I mean, we were just able to hold them back. Luckily, probably a few of them should have gone in, but I mean, I still think we played really well on the defensive side, and we had some transition plays of our own.
And it's great to see that you were able to deal with all that pressure, handle it well, and across the whole series, take them down. So congrats again, Akai. Thank you so much for joining with us. Anyone, before we let
Thank
you
you.
go, anyone that you feel like shouting out?
Yeah, I wanna shout out my boy Sheer Links in the Twitch chat. Always supported me. It's greatly appreciated. And then also uh, all the friends and family who are watching today. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And a beautiful thing to see indeed. Kai, congrats again. We're going to let you go and going to go revel, pop some champagne, assuming you're of legal age, and be able to celebrate your win.
I'm not, but next year I will.
Fantastic. So maybe wait till next year. Just buy it and store it, and you'll be able to enjoy it in due time. But congrats again, Butler. Moving on into the next round. Delaware, unfortunately, their season is over, and another Titan looms on the horizon here on the broadcast. We have UT Arlington coming up next against RIT. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short break with more 2021 EGFC League Championships.